Most people think becoming a billionaire is about luck. They think it's about being born into the right family or stumbling onto a winning lottery ticket. They are dead wrong. After studying everything that I can on billionaires, I've realized that wealth isn't a destination. It's a byproduct of a specific set of psychological operating systems. Today, I'm breaking down the 10 habits that every billionaire has in common. But before we get to the math and the strategy, we have to talk about the one thing that makes all of it possible. It's the habit that made my father think I had lost my mind. Habit 1. Unwavering faith. Take yourself back 10 years. I was a college student. I had no money, no connections, and no real-world skills. I was just another kid in a dorm room. One afternoon, I stumbled across a video by PewDiePie. For most people, that's just entertainment. But for me, it was a glitch in the matrix. I saw the numbers, I saw the views, and in that second, I didn't just hope I could do it. I had this unwavering faith. It was an inner knowing that I was going to make $150,000 in a single year through YouTube. To a college kid, $150,000 might as well have been a billion. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how the algorithm worked. I just knew I could do it. I saw other creators getting 100 million views, and I decided that was my target. That was the price of admission. My father was a hardworking man. He earned $500 a month. That's $6,000 a year. To him, $150,000 wasn't just a big number. It was 30 years of his life's work. When I told him I was going to buy a Hayabusa and earn his entire career's worth of salary in 12 months, he didn't give me a high five. He got angry. He told me to get out of this fantasy world and start living in reality. And honestly, from his perspective, he was right. I was a child who knew nothing about how the real world worked. I had never earned a single dollar in my lifetime. But here's the billionaire secret. Reality is negotiable. Fast forward 5 years. I finished my degree. At the same time, my social media finally hit the tipping point. That year, I checked my dashboard. The total, $152,000. My parents couldn't believe it. In all those years of grinding, even I had forgotten the exact goal I set. But the result was a statement of fact. If you believe it without a doubt, you can achieve it. Billionaires don't wait for proof to believe. They believe, and that creates the proof. Habit 2. Ruthless prioritization. Billionaires don't have a to-do list. They have a success list. They understand the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, better than anyone else. They identify the 20% of tasks that yield 80% of the results, and they ignore or delegate everything else. Most people live in the middle, tasks that are kind of important but don't change your life. Billionaires realize that no is a superpower. Every time you say yes to a coffee meeting that doesn't align with your goal, you are saying no to your first million. Habit 3. Asymmetric risk-taking. The average person is terrified of losing what they have. Billionaires are terrified of missing an opportunity. They look for asymmetric risk, scenarios where the downside is capped, but the upside is infinite. YouTube was my asymmetric risk. The downside? I spent time making videos no one watched. The upside? I reached 100 million people and changed my family's bloodline forever. Billionaires don't gamble, they place bets where the potential reward is 100 times the potential loss. Habit 4. Reading to lead. The average CEO reads 52 books a year. Bill Gates and Charlie Munger didn't read for entertainment. They read for leverage. Every book is a shortcut that saves you 5 years of mistakes. Most people stop learning the day they get their diploma, but billionaires treat their brains like a high-interest savings account. They are looking for one mental model that allows them to make a multi-million-dollar decision in 10 seconds. Habit 5. Extreme frugality in the growth phase. Before they were rich, they lived like they were poor. Warren Buffett still lives in the same house he bought in the 50s. Billionaires understand opportunity cost. They don't buy things to look rich. They buy assets to stay rich. Every dollar spent on a depreciating status symbol is a dollar that isn't compounding in the market. They delay gratification until the interest on their investments pays for their luxury, not their primary income. Habit 6. The deep work fortress. In an era of constant notifications, the ability to focus for 4 hours on a single difficult task is a literal superpower. Elon Musk and Bill Gates are famous for Think Weeks, where they go into total isolation just to think. Billionaires block out their first few hours of the day. No phone, no email, just the hardest, most important task on their list. High-stakes decisions require high-level focus. Habit 7. Speed of implementation. When a billionaire gets an idea, they don't wait until next week. They execute now. The gap between idea and action is what separates a dreamer from a founder. Speed is a habit. They would rather be fast and wrong and then pivot than be slow and perfect. The longer you wait to start, the more mental resistance builds up. Successful people have a bias for action. Habit 8, strategic networking. They follow the rule. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Billionaires spend money to get into rooms with people who make them feel poor or uninformed. They realize that your net worth is directly tied to your network. They surround themselves with people who challenge their assumptions and force them to think bigger. Habit 9. Thinking in decades, not days. Most people quit if they don't see results in a month. Billionaires think in 10-year cycles. They are willing to look like a failure for 9 years just to become an overnight success in year 10. They understand that compounding takes time to look impressive. If you are playing a 10-year game, you will always beat the person playing a 6-month game. Habit 10. Obsessive problem solving. Money is simply a reward for solving a problem. The bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. Billionaires don't look for money-making schemes. They look for massive pain points that millions of people have, and they fix them. Jeff Bezos wasn't passionate about shipping. He was obsessed with the problem of consumer inconvenience. Find a big problem, solve it for enough people, and the money will hunt you down. 10 years ago, I was told my dreams were a fantasy. 5 years later, I proved they were an inevitability. The only difference between me then and me now is that I stopped listening to the realistic people and started building these 10 habits. But knowing these habits isn't enough. You have to execute. I want you to pick one of these habits today. Commit to it for the next 30 days. Because remember, you don't choose your future. You choose your habits, and your habits choose your future. Go build something great. I'll see you in the next one.